What's up, everybody? You're tuned in to the Cris Style
Mal
Podcast, episode 155, Big Energy Monday. Hope everybody's having a good Monday. Whatever you're doing, you're at home, you're at work, whatever you're doing, we appreciate you tapping in with us on the show today. If you're listening on the playback, we appreciate you too. We got a lot to speak on, man. We got March Madness, first two rounds. I know the ladies are finishing up their round of 32 today. Talk a little baseball, talk some football too. Before we get into that, Maul, what is going on?
Not much, man. Feeling good, man. Birthday week, ready for vacation, ready to get the fuck out of Vegas. That's my reality. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. Can't complain. It's my off day, so ready to talk about these topics, man.
Let's go.
All right, man. Let's do a little recap of March Madness. Where you at? So all the number one seeds pretty much advanced past the first two rounds. I know Duke they put the beats on Mount St. Mary's 93-49. Cooper Flag made his comeback. Colorado State they actually upset number 5 Memphis 78-70. Maryland put the beats on Grand Canyon 81-49. New Mexico actually upset Marquette 75-66. Illinois beat Xavier 86-73. Houston beat SIU 78-40. Creighton beat Louisville 89-75. Drake beat Missouri Tigers 67-57. McNeese State, the upset, beating number 5 Clemson 69-67. Number 3 Texas Tech beat UNC Wilmington 82-72. Alabama beat Robert Morris 90-81. Number 7 St. Mary's beat Vanderbilt 59-56. Auburn, number 1 Auburn beat Alabama State 83-63. Michigan beat UC San Diego 68-65. Ole Miss beat North Carolina 71-64. Michigan State beat Bryant 87-61. And that's pretty much it for the first round. What were your thoughts on the first round?
Honestly, kind of went as we all expected. The first round seemed like it was pretty much all the favorites won for the most part, minus McNeese State. McNeese State had the upset win over Clemson. I think I did pick that. Also, I think the easiest upset I saw was your boys. I hate to say it, was your boys from Missouri. I called that. I told you that like a week ago once the brackets were announced. That I thought that was the easy surprise, not surprise pick, but an easy upset alert pick. Just the way by both teams, the way they were playing, the styles of the matchups and stuff like that. I know Missouri, they were a real formidable team, but I just think towards the end of the year they just weren't clicking on all cylinders, so it just made them an easier target. But honestly, man, for the most part, man, we all got what we expected. I expected a better performance from North Carolina. That was probably the most disappointing thing for me, especially me being a Tar Heel fan. They went down early by like 20 points. And then honestly, they fought back. Withers got hurt, so he was end up being out of the game for the most of the second half. So they did fight back. So they did show some mental strength in fighting back. But overall, I just thought the overall coming out, especially with all the noise about them not them shouldn't be in this tournament from the get-go. I thought they would have put on a little bit of better performance. But man, shout out to Ole Miss, man. They had an amazing game. But like I said, first round, man, it kind of just went as most people probably would assume that all the top seeds, higher seeds, as far as favorites would end up moving on in the first round.
Yeah, for sure. Then on the round of 32, you had number 4 Purdue. They beat McNeese 76-62, led by Arsenio Parker with 17 points. The big matchup, Calipari versus Rick Pitino, Arkansas versus St. John. Arkansas pulled it out 75-66. They limited St. John 28% shooting. Their key players were really good offensively. On the Arkansas side, Zuby Ezefor had 23 points and 12 rebounds. Michigan, number 5, Michigan beat number 4 Texas A&M 91-79. Texas Tech beat Drake 77-64. Auburn beat Creighton 82-70. BYU beat Wisconsin 91-89. Houston beat Gonzaga 81-76. And Tennessee beat UCLA 67-58. Then on Sunday, Florida beat UConn 77-75. Duke ended up beating Baylor 89-66. Kentucky beat Illinois 84-75. Shout out to Kobe Bryant. He had 23 points. Alabama beat St. Mary's 80-66. Maryland squeaked out a win, buzzer beater over Colorado State 72-71. Derek Queen with the last second shot. Ole Miss beat Iowa State 91-78. Michigan State beat the Lobos. New Mexico 71-63. And Arizona beat Oregon 87-80. 87-83 to move on to the Sweet 16. What was your thoughts on the round of 32?
I'll start off with the Arkansas St. John's game. It was a really good game. I was disappointed by the way Rick Pitino handled the situation with RJ Lewis. Look, man, I get it. Homie didn't play pretty well, but I think at the end of the day, man, he's your best player. There's no reason why he sat out the last 5 minutes of that game, man. He was your only offensive talent that could have had a chance for you guys to win that game. Like, it was really close. It was really literally a one possession game before it got broken open late. But I just don't see what the excuse was, and especially with his post conference comments. Like, I thought it was just pretty egregious stuff like that, especially in today's round with NIL deals and stuff like that. That's a clear way for a player like him, his caliber, transferring to another college team, because you don't put your star player in a situation like that. I would get it if he might say something like crazy during halftime, or like during the middle of the game where he got a little outlandish, where he wasn't playing for the scheme of the team as far as like what you implemented, or he was just kind of like just going rogue. But I don't think that was the case. I think it was just you pretty much just embarrassed your top-notch player. And then I wouldn't be mad if RJ Lewis decided to go transfer to another team. I thought Colorado State had that game against Maryland. Shout out to Derek Queen for hitting that game winner. He rolled to his left. It was a great play call. Rolled to his left, hit the banker off the side, and won the game. Shout out to Colorado State, man. They played an amazing game, man. Nick Clifford had an amazing game with 21 points, man. 7 rebounds, 6 assists. He played really, really well. So hopefully those guys hold their head out high, man. They played a really, really good game. Florida, I get it. Some people are kind of questioning, as far as their status of being title contenders. But look, every team, even Duke, they're going to have a game like this. I think UConn, being 2-time defending champions, man, they weren't going to go out just by going out, man. Like, I know a lot of people are clowning on Dan Hurley, me included, especially with the whole situation with the Lakers situation. But at the end of the day, man, Dan Hurley's one of the best coaches in college basketball. I know his antics get a little bit old sometimes, and especially what he did at the end of the game, claiming that the refs stole the game from him. But we all could see that was not the case. They were going to be a tough out, man. Walter Clayton Jr., man, he kind of really proved that he's definitely a top pick for next year. If he decides to come out, he's an amazing point guard, man. Some of the passes that he did, his confidence at the end of the game to get his team to close out that win, especially in a tight win. To me, it just gives me more confidence that Florida can win the whole thing. You know what I mean? They got a tough game out the way. I'm sure there's going to be more tough games, especially with all the better seeds winning. Next weekend is going to be an amazing event, man, with all these games coming up. But Michigan, they looked really good in that second half after bouncing back. New Mexico, they played really good in that first half, but they did really well. Michigan looked amazing. Obviously, Duke, they looked really good. Obviously, I think the pure talents of the teams that they faced wasn't as top notch, but they're going to get a great matchup against Arizona, man. Arizona's playing really, really well. They had a big win over one of their rivals with Oregon, 87-83. Really good game. BYU looks really good. that BYU Alabama game could be one of the better games of next week. I think there's a lot of great games. Houston, that might be the number one seed. If anything, that might cause you a little bit of concern, just the way they were playing. Purdue, they've been playing really well. They beat out the Aura, with McNeese State. But Houston got to keep an eye on them. That might be the first number one seed to lose. Especially all the great teams that they have, man. I know there's a lot of pressure on them to perform well, but they just have not looked exceedingly well, especially that last game. And then obviously Kentucky and Tennessee look really good, man. So I think next weekend is going to be amazing. We got some great matchups going into Thursday. I know I would probably say if we had to rate this weekend as far as like the quality of games, I thought we had some really good games, but overall it's kind of like it is what it is. A lot of these teams were up, and then they gave up a couple big leads to make it a little bit closer than what it seems. But I'll give this weekend probably like a 7. I think next weekend is going to be amazing, just with the styles and the matchups and just the pure talent that's going to be across the board, and some of these top-notch teams, man. We're heading into all top 25 teams being the last ones left, minus a couple, but it's gonna be a great show, man. The Sweet 16 and Elite Eight is gonna be some really good games.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with everything you just said. On the women's side, first round, it was a record-breaking weekend for 6 teams. Texas, UConn, LSU, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Notre Dame all scored 100 points against their first round team that they played. Let's go to the stats. As far as the women go, in the first round, number 1 Duke. Not just the men. I'm tripping. My bad. Where'd it go? I just had it. Well, we'll talk about number 10, South Dakota State rallied and beat number 7 Oklahoma 74-68. South Carolina demolished Texas Tech 108-48. K-State edged out Kentucky 80-79. Where is it at? I had the scores. Shout out to Lauren Betts from UCLA. They beat Richmond 84-67. She scored 30 points. Haley Van Leith, TCU, they beat Louisville 85-70. And most and there's some games today, but most of the top teams won over the weekend, minus a few. But this looks like it's going to be like kind of more so for the women when we get down to the 16 and the Elite 8. That's when the real competition comes in. I know we're getting that TCU Notre Dame game. Heidi Higelo, I know she scored 23 points in the win. So that's going to be a big matchup right there. And we'll be looking at, of course, South Carolina, LSU, UConn, USC with, Juju and them, what they're doing over there. So that's really what we came to see, you know what I'm saying? Let me ask you a question. Do you think there's more star power on the women's side than there is on the men's side?
I just think the names on the women's side are more recognizable because the women, they tend to stay in college a little bit longer. So, I just think the situation as it is, especially with, surprisingly, I'm gonna say this: Caitlin Clark, helping the women's game. Angel Reese helping the women's game. Juju, it's putting more eyes on the sport. So these ladies are more recognizable. You know what I mean? So, and then especially with the NIL deals, you're seeing a lot of these ladies in commercials and stuff like that. So their names are getting put out there a lot more. I think there are a lot of great players. On the men's side, as I said, I talked about Juan Clay Jr. Obviously, we know about Cooper Flagg and a couple of the other guys, especially on Maryland and so forth. But look, man, I think that's just one of the things that I think that the men's side is. I think we will eventually get back to where we start being these names will be a little bit more recognizable because I think these NIL deals are going to allow those guys to stay in the league a little bit longer and not take that leap of faith of going into the NBA and maybe jeopardize their career because they went into the league a little bit too early. This gives them a great chance to develop, still make their money, a great amount of money. These cats are making a couple $1 million a year. That they would have never saw unless if they were a guy in the league. so this helps their family. They can finish, get their college education, stuff like that. So I think give it like 5-6 years. Obviously, we got to get used to this NIL stuff like that, but I think we're going to start seeing more recognizable names, and I think that will help out the game as far as like, you know, everybody's in this whole conundrum of finding the next big superstar for the NBA to be the face of the league, which, again, I think the NBA is in a great place. I know a lot of people want to always comment that the NBA is a terrible watch. I think that's ludicrous. I think there's a lot of great players, but I think the women's side is amazing. You know, this just helps the game. You know, I was watching what's that league that they're doing on TNT? I think Chelsea Gray, they won the championship. I thought that was an amazing showing. I think there's a lot of things that the women's game is doing.
Rival.
Yeah, the rival league. I think that I thought that was amazing. They did the one-on-one tournament. There's a lot of things I think the women's game is doing that is elevating the sport that I think that the men's side can do. And you know, we gotta shout out the women, man. They're not ego driven, like they're doing stuff that is helping bigging up their league. And I get it that the league is in a spot where they need their stars to do that. Obviously, the NBA doesn't need that because, you know, it's already established product. But, you know, I mean, the NBA can look at the WNBA and the rival league and just look at some of the things that they're doing that helps further the game. But look, man, as far as the NCAA double tournament, you know, me and you kind of talked about it. Like we all knew that this was going to be, you know, that the favorites are going to be the winners until we start getting into the Sweet 16s and Elite Eights. Obviously, the showing of South Carolina against Indiana was a little troublesome. You know what I mean? A little worried. Yeah. You know what I mean? They were down by 1 at halftime, but I watched the second half of that game. Defensively, they locked in. So I think South Carolina will be fine. I think those ladies are just putting a little bit too much pressure on them, especially, you know, being at home, maybe them getting away might refocus them a little bit because they're going to have a big matchup next round, whether it's Alabama or Maryland. Both of those teams could beat them if they have a bad game or a bad first half like they did. You know what I mean? So obviously right now NC State is blowing out Michigan State. I'm looking forward towards the USC Mississippi State game. Obviously, you know, USC looked really good, but we got to be aware that Juju had a couple injuries. You know, she walked off with an ankle injury. I think she was holding her hand for a little minute. I know everybody's all over the Juju, Jaden Daniels situation and Mama Daniels, you know what I mean? Kind of, you know, cock blocking the whole situation. But look, man, Juju is focused. So I'm really going to be curious to see just how healthy she is with that. I think UCA should blow out Mississippi State. No offense to Mississippi State and those ladies, but we all believe that USC should win that game and win it very dominantly. I just think I'm going to be really focused on the health of Juju, just to move around. Obviously, she was able to come back in the game, but I think that's just going to be the most part, just keeping her healthy. You don't want her to get hurt at this particular time. And then I think the Iowa-Oklahoma game is going to be really good. Later today. I think it's going to start here in a little bit at 1 p.m. So, and then obviously you got Florida State, LSU later this afternoon. I think that's going to be a really good game. So I think there are a couple really good games that could come down to the wire. But I still expect the higher seeds to prevail. I still think the favorites are all going to win today. And then as I said, next weekend on the men's and women's side, we're going to get some really legendary matchups that I think is really going to feed the appetite for basketball fans for sure.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you that I think that TCU Notre Dame game, whoever advances in that game, that's the team you're gonna have to look out for sure. They can get sleeper. You know what I'm saying? Because both of the teams is playing really good ball, and both of their stars is balling out too. Eddie Baylor,
Tennessee looking good too.
Yeah, Tennessee is really looking good. They did their thing against Ohio State. UCLA, Lauren Betts, man, she's playing really good ball, man. 30 points, man. There's nothing to sneeze at, man. You gotta give her props for that. K-State, they pulled one out over Kentucky, 80-79 in overtime. So, you know, that was a really good game. Baylor pulled it out over Ole Miss, 69-63. So, Baylor's a team to look out for too. So. It's going to be interesting, man. Like you said, next weekend, you know what I'm saying, that's when we get down to the nooks and crannies of who's going to advance to the Final Four stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
All right, man. I want to talk about Deion Sanders and Asante Samuel, man, because they've been going back and forth. More so Asante Samuel. He's been trying to plead his case. We play this clip. This is where all came. They had Big 12. The Big 12 Pro Day. Deion was there. Shador was out there. All the players that are trying to show off on their pro days. And, Deion, he was with Bucky Briggs doing an interview, and he was talking about a technique that most corners use, and this was his thoughts.
Let me teach you real quick how stupid the T-step is. I'm going to teach you real quick. Now, Bucky, you're going to help me. Okay. We're going to walk backwards, then we're going to walk forward. Let's walk backwards.
Okay, we're walking backwards.
Now let's stop and walk forward. Why didn't you T-step?
Why
didn't you T-step? Okay, let me show you how stupid that is. Look, I'm going to walk backwards.
Yep.
Then I'm going to walk forward. Whoa. Who does that? What fool does that? What idiot does that?
Hey, if I was
that's what I miss about the combine.
I would do it like
the
best. That's right. Do it like the best does it.
If one of my players do that, I'm ripping his face mask off. And he's spending the rest of the game without a face mask.
Asante Samuel took exception to this. He said, I can't stop laughing. How foolish he sounds. You can't control everything, sir. First thing, a cornerback is taught, never run out of breaks. So T-step is the perfect technique. Antonio Cromartie doubled down on that too. Said the T-step is the perfect technique. Then Asante Samuel doubled down and tried to question Mr. Deion Sanders' resume, trying to say that he always had a safety over the top, that he wasn't the player. Then he tried to put his stats up next to it. Pull this up real quick. So he did this side by side. You see in 186 games, Deion Sanders had 53 interceptions, 5 playoff interceptions, 2 Super Bowls. Asante Samuel had 153 games, 51 interceptions, 7 playoff interceptions, 2 Super Bowls. Now, your thoughts on this situation? Do you think Asante Samuel is making a case for himself?
Oh, well, so I'm just, it's been a kind of like a hectic week for me. So this is my first time even hearing about this whole situation. I'll say this, man. Like, look, at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm some expert on cornerback play. You know what I mean? As far as like T-stepping and all that type of stuff. Like, at the end of the day, if it worked for Asante Samuel, it worked for Asante Samuel. It may work for others. It may not work for some. Like, Deion was a special breed. I think Deion is a one of one. I don't think Asante Samuels is Deion Sanders. Like, I see the stats and all that, and they look very similar. But let's be honest, man. No one was throwing to Deion like that. You know what I mean? I see some Asante Samuel tape. People were throwing out Asante Samuel. Maybe nothing crazy. Not saying like he was being disrespected or anything like that. But look, Asante Samuel was a really great cornerback. Do I think he's on the level of Deion Sanders? No. Do I think he's like a tier below that? Yes. I think he's a really good cornerback, but look, Deion is a one of one. Look, if Deion, look, maybe for him specifically, he can do that, but just because of just the athletic talent that he was, you know what I mean? He was a 2-star athlete. Asante Samuel wasn't that. So at the end of the day, I just think it's a conversation where I don't think no one's a winner at this particular conversation. Right. I think Asante Samuel lost me by just kind of trying to downgrade Deion Sanders. Bro, you're never going to win that battle, bro. Like, we saw with our own eyes, Deion Sanders was the greatest cornerback of all time. I think one of the other ones you can add, maybe like a Charles Woodson, a Darrell Green, cats like that. Other cats, back in the day, I'm trying to forget some other cats. I know there's a lot of cats back in the day who were amazing at cornerback play. But at the end of the day, like, did he have safety help? Okay, if he did, so what? So did you. That's what a safety there is. That's what a safety is there for, bro. Like, who cares about that comment? Like, if we're gonna go based on who won it, I would say Deion, just based on kind of like the dumb comments that Asante Samuel made that I just heard that you kind of spewed about. But at the end of the day, man, both of these guys were Hall of Fame talent cornerbacks, man. And I just think stuff like this does nothing for the game. Like, I think Deion Sanders was just kind of stating that, it may seem stupid for him, but it may work well for others, man. Deion's a special breed, bro. No one's Deion. We may never see another Deion, but we got Travis Hunter, so you never know. He could be, in the same tilt as him. I know there's a lot of pressure on Travis, but he learned from the best. He got winged under the best. So, but I just think this conversation is just kind of funny at the end of the day. And, shout out to both guys, man. Both Hall of Famers, man. Both true greats at the sport, man. Both true greats at their position.
I agree with you, but I'm look, Asante Samuel, yes, the numbers and the stats and all that. You could look at that, and we could do that for a lot of players. We could sit stats next to each other, and if the numbers told all the whole story, then a lot of people would be great. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people would be equal. But we saw both of you guys play in real time, and we see the difference. Asante Samuel, there was never a point in your career where we said Asante Samuel is the best corner in the NFL.
No.
Not one time.
Not disrespectful, but no.
And it's not. I'm not being disrespectful because I think Asante Samuel was a great corner. When he had his stint with New England, he had his stint with the Eagles. Dude was a ball hawk. He was a baller, no doubt about it. I'm not saying you trash. I'm not saying that at all. But to try to compare yourself to Deion Sanders, brother, come on, man. We're not doing this. You're not better than Champ Bailey. You're not better than Rod Woodson when he was in his prime. You're not better than Charles Woodson when he was in his prime. You were not better than Patrick Peterson when he was in his prime.
No.
So we're not going to keep doing this, man. Like, you were great for what you did in your time for your team. You're a Super Bowl champion. You're an all-pro. You're all that. Pro bowler, all that good stuff. But to try to compare yourself to Deion, like Maul said, for the team that probably didn't work for Deion because he just didn't get it because he's an anomaly, and to him it probably is stupid. But you know what I'm saying, for people like Asante Samuel, like I said, Antonio Cromartie, who was a really good corner too. The T-step was probably a move that works for most corners. You know what I'm saying? If you ask most corners, they probably tell you, no, the T-step is good. You know what I'm saying? It's just Deion. You know what I'm saying? It's just like whatever, you know. So it is what it is. I think it was funny. Deion bowed out. You know what I'm saying? He pretty much said, "You got it, sir." You got it, sir.
It's not a win. No one's gonna win that battle, man. It's just it's not gonna be good, man.
He was just like, "You got it, sir. I'm not gonna go there with you." So, shout out to both. I just want to get your opinion on it.
And it's funny because Deion didn't even call out Asante Samuel. Asante Samuel, it seems like, just came out the woodworks and like, oh, like I take offense to it because I like, bro, like this didn't even need to even start. This is Deion, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was a God's gift of talent right there, man. Some people just can't do what he does.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Let's speak on baseball, man. Thursday is opening day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to have a whole slew of games. Everybody's always excited for the opening day of baseball. I know my Royals are playing at 1 o'clock, so I'll be tuned in, tapped in. What is your excitement level for baseball? What is your excitement level for opening day, and what is your excitement level for this season?
Well, you know, as people know, I don't have a team specifically, but and I'm not gonna sit here and say I watch baseball like all the time. Like I'm more of like kind of like a postseason, end of the year kind of guy. But you know, my level of excitement is up there. You know what I mean? Just with the talent, obviously. You know, I think the biggest story is like the Dodgers super team that they have. Like it's just, you know, it's always going to get eyes. You know, I'm very curious to see how the Yankees respond with what's my man's name? He had to get surgery. Their starting pitcher. What's his name?
Garrett Cole.
Garrett Cole. You know, so I'm very curious to see that situation with the whole with the Yankees. You know what I mean? Them losing Juan Soto going across the bridge to the Mets. I'm very curious about that story. Ronald Acuna Jr. bouncing back off of his injury. I'm curious to see how the Braves, bounce back after the disappointing year that they have. You know, surprising teams. You know what I mean? What surprising team is going to be out there that, you know, could uplift? Could it be the Twins? Could you see a possibility of maybe the Toronto Blue Jays, you know, have a great year, or maybe the White Sox, Cubs? You know, obviously you're excited about your Kansas City Royals and what they can provide. You know, I'm not really too familiarized as far as like who they added, who they lost, and stuff like that. But look, man, if you're an avid basketball fan, I think it's going to be a really good year, man. I think it's going to be a very interesting year. So, you know, I'm gonna watch, man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be in Vancouver, man, when spring training, not spring training, but opening day. So, you know, I'll check out a couple games while I'm out there. But what's your overall level of excitement, man? You're the Kansas City Royals fan, man. What's your level of excitement?
Excited, man. We should, you know, I'm expecting us to win this division this year, man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bobby Witt Jr. I think he's gonna have another great season, MVP type season uploaded. I like the addition of what's his name, John India from the trade we got from the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah.
he's a good opening bat, first bat, you know, and they can come out and get on base. That'll help out with a Bobby Witt Jr. and a Vinny Pasquantino and a Salvador Perez. But what I'm really excited for is hopefully this kid can get called up in the middle of the season. And that's Jack Caglione. This kid, he played for Florida. He was a two-way player. He pitched and he could hit. He's mostly he mostly can hit. You know what I'm saying? They got him more as a first baseman and a hitter. He's down in the minors, triple. I think he's in the triple minor leagues right now. But kid showed a lot of promise in spring training. Hit a few home runs, and I'm excited to see this kid when he gets called up, because if he can be what he looked like in spring training, that's another bat that we desperately need for the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And going on the stretch run. That Vinny Pass injury, which he got hurt against, we got to check see how that looks. But that Vinny Pasquantino injury last year really affected us last year down the stretch, and it really hurt us because we were rolling before he got hurt. So hopefully Vinny Pass can start. That was 60-something games they got to play, so it's hard to just keep everybody healthy. But
Right.
Hopefully he could be healthy at the right time. You know what I'm saying? So
That's all that matters. Yeah.
Yeah, if he can stay healthy at the right time, I think we can make a run and at least win this division, and we can talk about, getting to the World Series and that stuff later.
So do you have any teams that could surprise anybody, this season that could potentially, make the playoffs that a lot of people aren't talking about now? Do you have any teams that you're keeping an eye on, minus your Royals?
No, I mean, I think baseball is pretty, it's going to be the same teams, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think the Tigers are going to still be good. Cleveland is still going to be right there. And I think Minnesota was good last year. Like, they're going to be pretty much those teams. And of course, you got your Yankees and your Dodgers and your Padres, all those teams. But I think it's going to be the same team. Some teams have added to get a little bit better. But yeah, I think it's going to be mostly the same thing. I don't see any real team like from last year going from worst to first, going from worst to playoff type status, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see though.
All right, man. Let me ask you real quick before we move on to the next topic. Who's your NL MVP? Who's your AL MVP? And who do you have in the World Series this year?
Well, I'm going to take Shohei on this side. I'm taking Bobby Witt this year, man.
Okay. And who you got making the World Series this year?
I'm gonna go with the Dodgers. Dodgers, Mets.
Dodgers, Mets.
Yeah. I think you boys gonna make them better.
All right. I'm gonna go. If I had to do a World Series pick, I'm gonna go Dodgers. I'm gonna go Dodgers Orioles. How about that? Let's go Dodgers Orioles.
Not bad. All right, man. Let's talk about our top 5 2025 NFL draft running back prospects, man. All right, man. You want to go first? You want me to go first? What you want to do?
You can go first.
All right. So, of course, I think everybody's consensus number one is Ashton Genty. He's number one. He's going to be the first running back taken. There's nothing to be said about this kid. He's an all-around back. He can run between the tackles. He can run outside. He's got speed. He's really good. He's actually, the few times that they asked him to do pass pro, he's actually a really good pass pro blocker. So whoever gets him, they're going to get a superstar. You know what I'm saying? Dude's going to be a baller. The only question about him is his size. You know what I'm saying? Will that be affected in the next level? But other than that, I think he'll be fine. My number 2, of course, is Amarion Hampton. He's a 5'11", 221. He ran a 4.48 at the combine. He had 1,700 rushing yards, 15 touchdowns. His strength is his athleticism, his vision, his competitive toughness, and his versatility because he can catch out of the backfield also. His weakness, he does have an explosiveness question towards him. And, of course, a lot of these running backs, they have pass pro, questions because a lot of these running backs don't get asked to do pass protection in college, football. So that's the only question about him. But outside of that, I think Marion Hampton is an exceptional running back. So my number 3 is Travion Henderson at Ohio State. He's 5'10", 202, 4.43 40. His strength is he has elite vision, contact balance, and he has a burst. His weakness is just durability. He can get nicked up a little bit because he's a smaller back. But the kid is really good. He's also a willing blocker and pass pro. I think he has a little Jahmyr Gibbs in him. He's got that breakaway speed. I think he's a game changer, and I think he's a 3-down back. Number 4, I got Caleb Johnson out of Iowa. He's 6 foot, 225. He kind of reminds me of an Le'Veon Bell type running back. Very patient runner. Has a elite plant and go type ability where he can just plant his foot and go. He has great vision and good hands. His weakness is that he just doesn't have top end speed, so he's not running away from nobody. But he outside of that, he's a really good running back. And then, of course, my number 5 is Christian Juggins. He's 6 foot, 228, ran a 4.4 840. He has patience in the hole. He is a touchdown monster. He has a very good burst when it comes to running in traffic. And he's solid in pass pro. Once again, his weakness is he lacks top end level speed. But outside of that, we've seen him run away from people, so maybe he has game speed. But those are my top 5 prospects coming out.
Oh, man, I like the list. Number 1, I agree with you. I got Ashton Genty. We all saw what his capabilities are. Man, he's a workhorse. Has insane burst. Big running back, can break tackles. Man, I think he's going to be amazing in the next iteration of his career. Obviously, it all depends on the offensive line that is in front of him that can make him into an elite, like one of the Saquon Barkley styles. I know there's going to be a lot of pressure on this young man, but I think he can be really good. Number 2, I agree with you. I got Marion Hampton. I know there has been conversations of him maybe potentially slipping down, with some of these other running backs. I personally can't see it. I think if he's not the second running back coming off the board, I think it'll be kind of weird, me personally, but I think there are a lot of great running backs, so I do have him number 2. Number 3, I got Travion Henderson. We all saw it, just his explosive capabilities out the backfield. I think he's really good. I think he's a really great pass blocking running back as well. I think he can definitely help a team on that avenue. Number 4 for me, I went with DJ Giddens. I like DJ Giddens a lot. I think he could be a really, really solid running back. He's a very explosive running back. He's definitely a long strider type of guy. I think he can surprise a lot of people. And then number 5, it was kind of tough. I think I'm gonna kind of agree with you and put him on Caleb Johnson. I think he could be a really solid running back out of Iowa. Definitely a workhorse, so I think he'll be good. As far as like a sleeper, don't rule out my guy from Florida, man, Montrell Johnson, man. I know he doesn't get talked about a lot, but he doesn't. I think he could be a really solid running back. Not saying he's going to be a superstar talent, but I think he could definitely work with some teams, man. So keep your eye out on Montrell Johnson as well.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Let's do our BetUS short 5 picks, man.
So.
All right, man. What you got?
So for today, I got the Lakers bouncing back. I got the Lakers -4 against the Magic tonight. I know they had a very, very disappointing showing on Saturday against the Bulls, but we've been playing 8 games. It'll be 8 games in 10 days, so it's kind of crazy. So I do have them bouncing back. Next up, I got Timberwolves +2 over the Pacers. I got the Bucks +3 against the Suns. Big pivotal matchup right there. And then I did a little baseball. I got Juan Soto +2,400 to be the home run season winner this year.
Okay. I'm gonna go with your Lakers also -4. I'm gonna take the Pelicans -3.5 over the Sixers. I'm going to take the Denver Nuggets -3 over the Bulls. And I'm taking Milwaukee Bucks money line over the Suns. If you go to any of our social media platforms, you'll see the BetUS link. Click on it. Go to their website. This is first-time users only. You sign up. Right now, they're running a college basketball deal, 150% sign-in bonus. You just signed up. You automatically will get it. That means you get 3 risk-free bets on your first 3 deposits, $100 up to $5,000. So what that means is if you deposit $100 on your first 3 deposits and you lose, keep your money. So you don't lose it, you just keep it. You know what I'm saying? So you can win some money or you lose and keep your money and you'll still be happy. So go over to BetUS, sign up, tell Cris Style Mal sent you. And that is our BetUS for our picks. All right, man. I want to play a game with my man. It's called Would You Rather. We've played this game in the past a few times. You know, this is T. Higgins edition. With him getting his new contract, now a lot of people think that he got slighted in his new contract or whatever, but he wanted to stay with the Bengals, so he took a pay cut. It is what it is. But I want to ask you, I'm going to name some 10 receivers. I want you to tell me, would you rather have T. Higgins or this said receiver?
Okay.
So, number 1, Rashee Rice.
Ooh, that's tough. Man, that's tough. I'm gonna go with T. Higgins. I just think, I think Rashee Rice is amazing. I think if he didn't get that injury, I might have took Rashee Rice. But I think with the injury, I gotta see how he bounces back coming off that knee injury. I know he does have some off the field issues he has to take care of as well. Very, very close. I do like your boy Rashee Rice. He is a really good dude, really good, amazing wide receiver. But I'm gonna take T. Higgins for right now.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. Number 2, Terry McLaurin.
Ugh, that's tough. Shit. Terry's nice. Damn, Terry is nice. Terry is nice. I'm gonna go Terry. I think Terry has proven that he's a solid number 1 receiver. I think he showed out, man. Especially, him going through all the transitioning with the quarterbacks, he still was putting up some great, great numbers. Now that he has Jaden Daniels, I think his numbers are just gonna go even higher. I'm gonna go with Terry.
Yeah.
Close, very close.
Yeah, I actually agree with you on that one. Number 3, Drake London.
Oh, T. Sorry, Drake London. I gotta see more, man. And obviously, I get it. His quarterback play wasn't the greatest. Obviously, Kirk Cousins, when he first started, it wasn't really good. Obviously, you got Michael Penix, so I do expect great things. Drake London and Kyle Pitts are kind of like in the same spot. Like they have all the talent in the world, but they just have not met expectations, man. I got to see a whole lot more, but T. Higgins in the landslide.
Number 4, Devontae Smith.
Ooh, I like Devontae, but I think he's a solid 2. T. Higgins is a 1. I'm gonna go with T. Higgins. No disrespect to Devontae Smith. I think Devontae Smith is really good. He has a small frame, so that does worry me a little bit. We have seen some concussion injuries with him as well. I would just trust T. Higgins a little bit more with body size, and I just think his route running and stuff like that. I'll take T. Higgins more over.
Okay. Number 5, Jalen Waddle.
Ooh, I like Jalen, but he just has an injury history problem, man. And I think his route tree is a little suspect at times. Straightforward, I think he's really, really nice, but I think route tree he definitely has some work on. But he just has consistent injury problems every year. I know T. Higgins has his a little bit, but I trust him. I trust his body more, so I'm gonna go with T. Higgins.
Number 6, Nico Collins.
Ooh, damn. You asshole for this one. I gotta go with Nico, bro. Nico's. That's a bad man, dog. And before his injury, he was the best receiver in the game last year. His stats proved it. He's just really good, bro. Nico Collins is him, and I gotta see. Like the thing with T. Higgins is he's always had Jamar Chase next to him, so it's always alleviated him getting double teamed and all that. I've seen Nico Collins even in double team, triple team. This man is cooking. You know what I mean? With a bad O line, Nico is cooking. So, yeah, I gotta go with Nico, bro.
Number 7, Malik Neighbors.
I gotta go with Malik, man. Malik is just so offensively talented. He looks like a better version of Odell to me. He's like a better version of Odell. Now, the thing with Malik Neighbors is I'm already a little worried about his injury history. Like he had a concussion. He's got nicked up pretty bad. But talent-wise, I'm gonna go with Malik, man. I gotta go with Malik, man. He's in a true amazing talent, especially what he did his first year.
Number 8, Garrett Wilson.
Damn. That's tough. Because Garrett Wilson, man, before this whole Aaron Rodgers situation, he was trending towards like top 5. He was. I'm gonna slightly take T. Over Garrett. It's tough. I'm gonna slightly take T.
Number 9, Brian Thomas Jr.
I gotta go Brian Thomas, dog. Brian Thomas is nice, but I'm sorry, man. Like I gotta see T. Higgins. That's why I was so excited for him to sign to another team, because I really want to see what T. Higgins could do without Jamar Chase. Brian Thomas is that dude, bro. He's nice, man. He's nice. He could potentially be the best receiver in that draft class, and that's saying a lot, especially with Malik Neighbors.
And number 2, CD Lamb.
I gotta go CD, bro. CD's nice, bro. CD, again, it's a situation that I gotta see T. Higgins without Jamar, man. So I'm gonna take CD, bro. CD's that guy.
Sure, man. All right, man. So Fox decided, with the spirit of college basketball,
yeah,
they put out a top 10 women's college basketball players of all times.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pull this list up for you. Bear with me. I'm gonna go. They dropped it. What was it over the weekend?
Okay.
This is the list. So, starting off with Breanna Stewart. Now, Breanna Stewart was a 4-time champion. She was a 4-time outstanding player in the Final Four, and she was a 3-time Naismith winner. And she second all-time on UConn's scoring list. Now, we all know that Caitlin Clark is a 2-time Naismith player. She averaged 28.4 points a game, 8.2 rebounds, 7.1 assists, or 8.2 assists, 7.1 rebounds, and she got her team to She got to the final. She got to the championship twice, right?
No, I think one time.
One time. Okay, she went to the championship one time.
She went to the Final Four twice.
Final Four twice, went to the championship one time. Deanna Taurasi, 3-time champion, 2-time Naismith player. It goes without saying what Deion Sanders represents for UConn. Cheryl Miller, she was a 2-time champion, 3-time Naismith winner, 23.6 points a game, 12 rebounds. She's one of those, what could have been had she not had those injuries. We might be talking about Cheryl Miller as the greatest women's basketball player of all time. One that's always forgotten is Shamika Holmesgall. In Tennessee, Shamika was nice. Before she went through her mental issues with Washington, she was nice in Washington too. But she's a 3-time champion, 2-time Naismith winner. She averaged 20 points a game, 8.8 rebounds. Of course, a lot of people's WNBA go Maya Moore. She's a 2-time champion, 2-time Naismith winner, and she averaged 19.7 points per game, 8.3 rebounds. Brittany Griner, she has 1 championship, 2 Naismiths. She averaged 22 points a game, 8.8 rebounds. Candace Parker, she's a 2-time champion, 1-time Naismith winner, 19.4 points a game, 8.8 rebounds. Asia Wilson, one-time champion, one-time Naismith winner, and she averaged 17.3 points a game, 8.7 rebounds. I didn't put Lynette Ward because I still don't. I looked up her stats. I don't understand why she's on the list. Like, she only averaged like 5 points a game, and I didn't get that.
No.
And then honorable mention that Kelsey Sabrina Nescu, Elena Del Don, Cheryl Swoops, and Rebecca Lobo. So, what are your thoughts on this list, sir?
Look, man, I'm trying to lead a life of positivity right now. I know I've been talking about Caitlin Clark hating season starting. I was really trying to wait till fucking May, but y'all are trying to force my hand in this situation. I think this list is crazy. I don't understand why Caitlin Clark is number 2. Like, I get it. Statistically, she's nice, but she's not better than any of these women as far as career-wise. I'm sorry, man. Like, we got to stop this shit. Like, I get it. She's transcending women's sports and all that, but where's Sue Bird at? Sue Bird was nice in college, bro. Like, Kelsey Plum was nice in college. Sabrina Ionescu was one of the best. She was putting up numbers just like Caitlin Clark, bro. What are we doing? Caitlin Clark should not be number 2. Now, if you want her on this list, put her where Lynette Ward is. If you want to.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to. There's no reason why Caitlin Clark is in the top. I understand people want to put her in top 10 just by just what she did. Okay, I get it. But 2, get out of here, man. She's not on the level of Diana Taurasi. She's not on the level of Brianna Stewart, Cheryl Miller, Shamika Holsclaw, Maya Moore. Brittany Griner was a monster in college. Candace Parker was she was a prodigy in college. Maya Moore, Candace Parker, Asia Wilson, Cheryl Miller, Shamika Holsclaw. All these ladies are prodigies. Even Caitlin Clark, to a degree, she's a prodigy too. But just on the level, she didn't win anything. She didn't win no championship. She didn't do that. So I'm like, all these women have championships on their resume. Caitlin Clark does not. How is she resonating in the top 10? I'm sorry. In any class of ranking top 10 all-time players, what is one of the number one things you must have on your resume to even be considered to be at least top 5, top 10? Championships. I don't care what sport it is. It's football, basketball, hockey, PGA championships, all that, Grand Slams, all that, bro. She does not have one women's college basketball championship, and yet she's anointed to be number 2. Okay, she scored 28 points, got 7 assists, 7 rebounds. Congratulations. You dominated the ball the whole goddamn time. It was your show. You should be putting up those stats. Like, what are we talking about, bro? And
Can I play a little devil's advocate for her?
Go for it.
Brianna Stewart, Diana Taurasi, Maya Moore, Candace Parker, Asia Wilson, Shamika Holsclaw. They all played on powerhouses. Now, I'm not saying that they ain't prodigies, but they played on loaded teams.
And she played, and Caitlin Clark played in a conference that was really not that great. Like, what are we talking about? Like, come on, man. We can
play a little devil's advocate.
I hear you, but just the level of expectations that you like. Honestly, she played on Iowa. There's no expectations for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Even when she was at the pinnacle of her status, no one expected them to beat South Carolina. No one expected them to beat UConn, especially like we ain't gonna go back to that Iowa UConn game where I think UConn got screwed out of that game because of a particular call. But we're not gonna go back to that situation. Like I hear that argument, but again, I'm looking at what I like. She didn't win shit. Sorry. And then even with those Diana Taurasi, they still went up against top-notch competition. Those Tennessee teams back in the day, those Notre Dame teams back in the day, the Baylor team back in the day, South Carolina. Like, there were some really, really dominant teams. That was the same in college basketball. You know what I mean? You had it's no different. But we don't say that about certain cats in college basketball. You ain't winning. Like, they don't put Steph Curry as top number 2 all time in college. He transcended the NBA game. He transcended college basketball as far as like the style of play that he was. He put up numbers like Caitlin Clark. They don't have him number 2. He played on Davidson. He didn't win shit. Like, come on, man. We gotta stop caping for this chick, bro. Like, everybody, like, now I'm starting to see all this stuff where Angel Reese was like, oh, like, people talk about me in a particular light that I'm not am, and then people want to post the whole, you can't see me shit that she did to Caitlin. Like, how many videos have you seen Caitlin Clark go fucking AWOL because she ain't get one simple call, and she over here talking, like, saying some wild crazy shit, like, bro. And then she did the same shit to old girl when she won. So, like, come on, man. Like, I hate the whole picking and choosing with Caitlin Clark shit. You like Caitlin Clark, cool, but like, give me a break with this. Like, she's the greatest of all time shit. She is not, bro. Come on, man. What are you doing? It's crazy.
I actually agree with you, sir. I don't think she should be number 2. I definitely don't think she's number 2. I get what they were trying to do, but I'm sorry. These other ladies, they have way more accolades than her. What Breanna Stewart, Deanna Taurasi did, Maya Moore, Cheryl Miller, like, they were just amazing. Brittany Griner
scored 100 points.
Yeah, like Cheryl Miller. And she had Cynthia Cooper on her team. People forget that. So, yeah, it's just, yeah, she like I've always said, if Cheryl Miller didn't get hurt, we might be talking about Cheryl Miller as the greatest WNBA player of all time, because I think she can play against certain dudes.
Cynthia Cooper in the WNBA won 4 championships in a row.
Yeah.
4 championships in a row against a Liberty team with Teresa Weatherspoon and all. Like, come on, man. And I know that's pro, but come on, man. And then the disrespect to Sue Bird. Like, come on, man. Ella Delian Don, like, come on. What are we doing? Kelsey Plum, like, people forget how great Kelsey Plum was with the Huskies. She was the all-time leading scorer. She was. And then Caitlin Clark took that over. Congratulations to her. Congratulations. But we come on, we can't forget about historical purposes, man. We can't, like, history is history, bro. And Caitlin Clark is definitely one of the historical players in women's basketball. I'm not denying that, but put her in the proper place. That's all I'm saying.
I agree. All right, man. Let's do our NFL offseason outlook. AFC South. We got Jacksonville and the Colts today. All right, let's start with Jacksonville. Jacksonville, they got the Colts coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so he is already he was in NFC South. He's instrumental in making Baker Mayfield look good. So they're expecting him to do the same thing for Trevor Lawrence. This is a big season for Trevor Lawrence. He got paid, so he's gonna have to show that he is at least a top 8 to 10 player in this league. Like, we're not even asking you to be top 5, sir. Like, we've already seen that you're not the generational talent that everybody thought you were going to be. But can you at least be 8 through 10, sir? I know you got the injuries and all that stuff, and so you can't control injuries. I mean, injuries are going to happen in football. But you got to show something this year, man. You got a number 1 wide receiver. Now, I know they got rid of Christian Kirk. They traded him off to Houston, but you got to show something. I'm sure they're gonna have to try to booster up the offensive line. They got rid of Cam Robinson, so I'm sure they might be looking for a tackle in the draft, or some type of offensive lineman. But defensive lineman is really what they need to be looking for to booster up that defensive line. And of course, they're gonna have to booster up those corners to help out Tyson Campbell and probably get some safety help too. So defensively, they're gonna have to get hit it hard in the trenches and on that back end.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think the whole conversation is, can the head coach, get Trevor Lawrence back to what he was? You know what I mean? Like, we saw instances in his career that he can be a top-notch quarterback. Now, with the money that they gave him, there's going to be a lot of pressure on him. Now, it's just a question of, is he better being an offensive coordinator, or can he be a head coach and take on all the responsibilities? That's going to be the key. Minus his weirdness in the his opening press conference. I think we got to give him a fair opportunity. He's done a lot with a lot of quarterbacks, as you mentioned, Baker Mayfield and all that. So I just think this team is in a point where they need to find a sense of identity, a sense of direction. Like they're in this whole kind of like weird spectrum with their team, as far as like whether they're going to remain in Jacksonville, or are they going to move this team to be in the London team or anywhere else. There's a lot of conversations about that. I think Jacksonville has a great fan base. We've seen it back in the Mark Brunell days, Fred Taylor days, that they can have an amazing atmosphere down there in Jacksonville. So I don't think Jacksonville is a problem. We see it with all the college football teams. That's great. That's a great football city. Like, I don't think that should be ever underestimated. But they've been given a raw product, man, with this team, man. The level of expectation that they should have, like, this team should be a lot better than what they are. They should be competing in this division with the talent that they do have, and that's what's so frustrating about it. You got Trevor Lawrence, you got a solid running game, you got an up-and-coming receiver. Your defense talent-wise is not that bad. You got talent on that defensive squad. So, and it's, to me, I think it's a great destination for free agents, for families. I think it's in a wonderful spot, and the owner ain't bad. He's actually a reasonable owner that wants to spend money, that wants to have a great product. You know what I mean? So, and money's not an option for him. So I think Jacksonville can be one of those sleeping giant teams if they can just find an identity and stick to it. But obviously, it all comes down to the level of play with Trevor Lawrence, man. And with that contract, man, there's a level of expectation. And that last image we saw was that nasty hit that he took, that with the concussion that took him out for the year. So I hope he's back, but we don't know the underlying problems that could cause. Could he be a frequent concussion person like a Tua? In a situation where any hit can put him back in that scary moment of him having a concussion. That's just some of the things that you got to kind of worry about with him. He does have an injury history problem. So this whole thing is going to rise or fall with Trevor Lawrence and that head coach. And either they're going to be able to accept the challenge, or they're going to be looking for a quarterback here in the next 2 years. And a new coach.
Also going to have to figure out their running game too. I know Tank Bigsby was the number one running back towards the end of the season, to see what they're going to do with Travis Etienne. Are they going to trade him? Are they going to let him go? What are they going to do with him? He could be somebody in the draft that could be a draft trade, you know what I'm saying, coming up. You know what I'm saying? You could see him out of the 4th, 5th round pick for him, or something. Some team that needs a running back, go trade for him so they can get one of these younger running backs in the draft. So we'll see.
Hey, it could be a weird situation where he gets traded for his brother. You know what I mean? Where they could go get his brother, bro. You know what I mean? It could be some weird situation like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which in the NFL, it would not surprise me.
Yeah, for sure. Then we got the Indianapolis Colts. The main thing is about Anthony Richardson. Is he the future or not? They signed Daniel Jones to a 1-year deal. I think it was a 1-year deal. To compete for the starting job, actually, to be insurance policy for Anthony Richardson. He's going to have to show some improvement throwing the football down the field. He's going to have to show improvement in the commitment to wanting to be better and being the franchise quarterback. I think last year was a humbling and learning experience for him to show that the NFL, they don't play. And if you're not committed, they won't commit to you. They will get rid of you as soon as they draft you, sir. So you better. This is the year, whether you're going to be playing for the Colts going forward or you're going to be auditioning for another team. You gonna have to show up and show out, and you're gonna have to show some improvements that you can throw the football down the field on a consistent basis, or at least be that balanced quarterback, dual threat quarterback that can be a game changer. In more, I'm not comparing to Cam Newton, but a Cam light, Cam Newton light. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can do some of the stuff that Cam Newton used to do, maybe even a Josh Allen, because they compare you to that too. If you can show some of those abilities, you'll have a possibility to stay with this team and be the future of this team. But you got to show something. So he's the main cog in this whole thing. I think offensively, you got one of the better running backs in Jonathan Taylor. I think their wide receiver is actually core is actually very underrated with Michael Pittman Jr., Alec Pierce, Josh Downs, A.D. Mitchell. Like, that's a really good receiving core. So more so for them is defensively. They signed Charvarius Ward, which was a good signing. And I think they got some other pieces on that defensive line. They need a pass to add with Latu. They need to add another pass rusher. They need another guy on the other side of him because he showed some promise last year. They need another guy on the other side of him, and this is the perfect draft to get that. There's so many defensive linemen in this draft they can't get after the quarterback. So if you can get like a James Pierce Jr. on the other side of Latu, that's a nice little tandem right there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe in the second round you get a Nick Scrogan or something like that. Shakur Stevens, Stewart. I mean, you get one of those guys, you might be cooking with grease over there because, like I said, offensively, it's all about the quarterback. Defensively, they need to get pass rush. Like I said, I like the Charvarius Ward. He's going to solidify your number one quarter spot. Maybe you get you another corner in the draft. Probably get some safety help too in the draft. There's a couple of good safeties in there that you can get, but I don't know. The Colts are kind of in this weird spot. They're always in this weird spot where they're not a bad team, but they're not a good team. You know what I'm saying? So, but they have potential to go either way. So they got to figure out the Anthony Richardson thing, and they got to get some pieces on defense.
Let's be honest, man. They signed Cameron Bynum. They signed Charvarius Ward. All the talent that they have on that offensive side, defensive side, this should be the favorite to win the division. Should be the favorite to win the division, and it shouldn't be close, especially with all the weird decisions that the Texans are doing. Like, this is all about Anthony Richardson, man. It really is. Like, you can add. They have plenty of ways to add depth to that defensive line. You can get Shamar Stewart. You can get James Pierce. Like, your draft pick is not that bad to the point where you can get one of those guys. You should be able to get one of those guys to add a D line. So right. And then that's not including the other picks that you have to beef up your defense, O line, whatever the case may be, wide receiving core, whatever you need. You have the benefit. You have that leverage. The only thing that's holding this team back is Anthony Richardson. Can this man mature enough to be able to take this team to where it needs to go? You got the receiving core, you got the superstar running back. Your offensive line is not that bad. Your defense is not that bad. You added all these additional pieces. You're gonna add more depth through the draft. Like, there should be no excuses for this team not to be the favorites of the AFC South. Because let's look at it talent-wise. Who's better than them talent-wise? Nobody in the AFC South. No one, not even the Texans. It's not close. I'm sorry, it's not. And I think the Colts, talent-wise, are the best team.
I think the Texans got more high-end talent. I'll say that. I just think overall, just the body of how much depth that they have, I think the Colts are the better team. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, they do. They may have I are better, like Nico Collins is the better receiver than a Michael Pittman Jr. I hear you. I'm just talking about like Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter.
I hear you. I hear you.
Derek Stingley Jr.
I hear you. Individually, yes, they are better. I'm talking about depth-wise. The Colts are a better team. I'm not talking about like, yeah, if we lined them up one-on-ones, yeah, of course. I think the Texans have better players. They have the better quarterback. I think they got the better head coach. They got the better D lineman. They got the better cornerback. They don't have the better running back, but that could be up there with Joe Mixon and Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor, he's had his ups and downs. So, and Joe Mixon had a great year last year. So that could be debatable. It could be debatable. But I'm just talking about just depth. Like we saw with the Philadelphia Eagles. That was one of the reasons why they won the Super Bowl, because of the depth that they had on that team where they can just keep rotating players in and out, and it still looked like they were playing in quarter one. You know what I mean? And the Kansas City Chiefs are like, all right, bro. All right, it's getting a little bit too much. I hear you. That's one of the things I think the Colts can potentially be, especially with the capabilities of adding in the draft. You added some depth on that cornerback position, which was kind of suspect last year. You add Cam Bynum, who's one of the top safeties in free agency. You add Charvarius Ward, who's one of the top cornerbacks in free agency. Anthony Richardson, what can you do to help elevate us? Because talent-wise, you should be up there. Not saying you should be the best quarterback in the league, but You should be serviceable enough to be like, I'm an explosive running back. He could be Jalen Hurts. He really could. He really could. And I think he has a better arm as far as like arm strength than Jalen Hurts. I think he's a better athlete than Jalen Hurts. But it just doesn't click. He has too many situations where he doesn't show he can be the leader by checking out of the game. You know what I mean? Or just him understanding the offenses and reading defenses and stuff like that. That's all on you, bro. That's all on you. That's a you problem. That's not a coach problem. That is a you problem. And I think Anthony Richardson could do it. He's a Florida guy, but I understand the questions. He done it to himself. So this is a big year for him. Like he either is going to be the starting quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts or Daniel Jones is going to be taken over by week 6. It's just a fact.
Sidebar. Jesus, DJ Legwood. I didn't know he was that big, dog.
Hey, I tried to tell you. That's going to be.
Man, Anthony Richardson looked like Tua.
Bro.
I didn't know he was that big.
I tried to tell you, dog. That motherfucker is humongous, my boy. Pause. But he and he throws the ball better. He throws the ball better than Anthony Richardson. He got a better arm than Anthony Richardson. He might be more athletic than him too. That boy, he looked in that picture. He looked like he's 6'8", 250.
God.
Like how you tackle that? How you tackle that, bro? You look like you should be a tight end or a D line, and you're a quarterback. That's crazy. That just shows you the evolution of the body. I'm like, sooner or later, people are going to start looking at as the foundation of being a quarterback is DJ Lagway if he performs to the capabilities. Yeah. I'm excited to see what he does with Florida next year. I'm stoked because when he was in there, I think Florida was a top 15 team when he was playing.
Oh yeah. If he had started right away, I think y'all probably might have made the.
He has injury problems though. He does for a body like that. He does have some injury history problems.
Because them dual threat quarterbacks, they gonna get hurt.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, man. That does it for our AFC South. We will be doing the Texans and the Titans on next week. All right, man. Do you have anything else?
Nah, man. Sports wise, I don't have anything. I could swear something happened in boxing, but I don't remember. Oh man, what's your expectations for Raw? Is it starting early again?
Yeah, I said 1:00 today.
What's supposed to be happening on Raw this week?
What is happening today? I know. I forgot what match is today. Oh, Penta versus Braun Breaker. That should be a good one for the IC championship.
Oh, okay.
Outside of that, I don't know.
Isn't John Cena and aren't they supposed to have another thing or something like that?
I don't know. I don't know if John Cena's showing up today.
I thought they said he was showing up this week.
If he is, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? So I want to hear what he has to say after what Cody did to him. So we get a promo spar off. You know what I'm saying? I think they kind of protected Cody a little bit, letting John not say nothing.
Yeah, I saw the little Twitter handles where they're kind of saying that they didn't want to embarrass Cody with John Cena and stuff like that.
Because John can say some stuff to Cody.
I still think the kid shit was hilarious. That shit was top tier.
Yeah, that was funny.
Have you played Assassin's Creed? I know you bought it. Have you played it?
I started playing it yesterday.
What's your overall feel so far? I know you're probably still early in the game, man. I'm still on the base.
It's in the beginning. It's in the beginning stage. It's good. It's good.
I heard the graphics on there are pretty nice.
It's really good. It's really good. The fighting scenes are good. Yeah, man. I'm just getting my story started.
I hear you.
Old girl, you know what I'm saying? She doing her thing.
Okay. That's sure. I expect a full review. Or a semi-review when we come back next Monday.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Let's do our flowers of the week.
Mm-hmm.
What you got?
Again, I'm gonna stick with my friend and my aunt, man. Just keep sending flowers to them, man. Still hope for the best. Besides that, all March birthday babies. shout out to y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Happy birthday to everybody in March, including myself, man. You know, if y'all know, my birthday is on Wednesday. So, man, celebration to everybody. Celebrate life. Celebrate all the March babies. Man, we it. You know, we're the start of spring. So we're the start of happy feelings and great times. So just keep remembering that. No one else feels this way but March babies.
For sure. Well, I got 3. First off, I want to give flowers to George Foreman. He passed away over the weekend. Yes. Shout out to George Foreman, one of the greatest icons in boxing ever. Before Mike Tyson, he was the powerhouse. He was the big guy. And, you know, he was in the iconic fight, Thriller in Manila, against Muhammad Ali. The rope-a-dope was made because of that fight where Muhammad Ali pretty much took a beating and then wore him out and knocked out George Foreman in the later rounds. He also was an icon as a commentator. The Foreman Grill was one of the more iconic things that, you know, people bought. You know what I'm saying? Supposed to keep you healthy. You can make your burgers on there or whatever. His career outside of boxing made him iconic too. So shout out to George Foreman, his family. My condolences to his family. Yeah, man, he deserves his flowers. Yeah. My second one is wrestler Chris Bay. Now, for those who are not familiar with who Chris Bay is, Chris Bay used to wrestle on Impact Wrestling, TNA Wrestling. He was part of a tag team with Ace Austin. He was also part of the Bullet Club. But in the match, I think it was months ago in a match, he fell on it. He fell wrong, and he was paralyzed. He couldn't move his lower body, and they weren't sure if he could ever walk again. Well, yesterday they did a charity for him, and he's walking again. He did a real great interview for all my wrestling fans out there. If you know who Chris Van Fleet, he's probably the best wrestling interviews that you could watch. Any wrestler that he interviews, they're always top notch. But he did an interview with Chris Bay where he's talking about, you know, striving to possibly, hopefully come back to wrestling. You know what I'm saying? We've seen people with career-ending injuries come back, from Bryan Danielson to Edge, just to name a few. Guys who had neck injuries who said we're never going to wrestle again, and they came back and wrestled. So I'm praying for Chris Bay. I hope he gets his swan son. I hope he gets to come back and wrestle. But it was great to see him coming out, walking. Shout out to everybody who did that charity out here. He used to wrestle in the federation out here called FSW. It's a Vegas wrestling organization out here. Shout out to them. They did that. They put on for him for a benefit for him. So shout out to Chris Bay, man. Shout out to Chris Bay. And last but not least, I gotta give my flowers to my brother Maul. It's his birthday week. He will be in Vancouver. That's why we're not having the show on Wednesday. I know you're going through a lot, brother. I know it's rough right now, but I think this is what better time to have your birthday right now so you can be celebrated and just, you know, take your mind off everything. You know what I'm saying? Kick your feet up, man, and just relax, man. You deserve your flowers, you know what I'm saying? Regardless, even if it wasn't your birthday, you know what I'm saying? It's my boy. You always going to get flowers from me. But definitely this week, I'm going to give you your flowers. Happy birthday, brother. And I hope, you know, your vacation is great.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you, bro. You know, it's all love over here, man. I know we talk our shit, bro, but you're my brother for life, man. So I definitely appreciate you, man.
For sure, bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
And who did she have now?
So I got 2. One goes to Dan Hurley, man. You know, you screaming like, you know, bro, like, and then you did the whole crying shit. Like, bro, no one feels bad for you, bros, with all your antics, man. I think you get the hell nah. As far as just with you kind of screaming out like, you know, the refs stole the game. No, they didn't. All right, and then number 2 goes to Saratoga Water and Ashton Hall. You done ruined my Twitter experience, minus Elon Musk. Y'all done ruined my Twitter experience. Now I see everybody dunking their head in a bowl of ice water and shit now. Motherfuckers show me how their morning is and what they do, the fake book that they're reading, the fake workout that they do. Like, bro, come on. Come on, man. If I see another version of y'all, if I saw the Asian version, the Indian version, the hood black version, the skateboard white, I'm like, bro, if I see another one of these videos on my timeline, I'm gonna go insane. I'm gonna go insane, bro. I'm gonna go insane. Yeah, so yeah, those are my 2 hell no's of this today.
My hell no goes to anybody who says Jackie Robinson was a DEI hire.
What?
You out your damn mind.
Yes. Who said that?
Unfortunately, Nick Wright said it, but
Nick Wright said Jackie Robinson was a DEI hire.
Mm-hmm.
What is this DEI shit? Like what is this? I know this is a
diverse something. I forgot the rest of the word, but it's a diverse. It's not a bad thing. It's pretty much
like diversity inclusion.
Yeah. But they're trying to say because he was black, that's why he was in the MLB. Not because of the Negro leagues and how much he was balling in there. And then we gonna talk. We never get into the conversation on how the Negro leagues, how a lot of those dudes was better than some of these white dudes.
Yeah.
And a lot of them probably should have been in the pros or in the MLB, should I say? But yeah, y'all get a hell no for saying that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out Jackie Robinson. He's one of our greats. He was the first one to cross over to the MLB to integrate the sport to where we get it to where it is today. So I think it was disrespectful. And yeah, y'all get a hell no, man. I saw a few of y'all out there saying that.
Yeah, this is insanity. This is crazy.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ugly ass on.
All right, man. I also want to give a hell no to Trump for signing that thing to where we're going to be having segregated bathrooms.
What? He did what?
They signed they did passed some thing where they lifted segregation, where segregation can come back.
Oh, like it's only like white only bathrooms now and shit. Oh my God. Dog, I'm burnt out on that dude. It ain't even been 6 months yet, bro. He just doing shit just to do shit. I don't think he can officially do that, but I don't know, man. It's gonna be a long 4 years, bro.
They ain't gonna do that. White people know where the good food is at. I tell you right now. You do that white only shit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's no woodworks. And I just don't think it's financially smart to do shit like that.
It's gonna go both ways.
No smart company would allow that. Like, come on, man. Like they're not gonna.
Nike sales will go down.
They're already going down. But like Target, Walmart, even the Cracker Barrel, come on, man. They're not gonna portion off their earnings to a specific group. That's just dumb. Like it might have worked 100 years ago, but it's not gonna work now, bro. Like, come on, man. We're too diverse of a nation for that even to be financially smart. Like it's dumb.
We don't have segregated NFL teams.
Segregated? Good luck with that. That's like having a segregated basketball team. Like, bro, even though basketball is, Luka, AR, they got a nice squad. That'll be a nice squad. I still don't think they'll be better, but it's dumb conversations, bro. Come on, man. Get this guy. He need to fast forward 3 years.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Democrats. Y'all
better find somebody, bro. Somebody got to step up, bro. AOC, Bernie, Stephen A., The Rock, Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, somebody step up. Oprah.
Look, we need the final balls.
Michelle, I saw some shit where that Steve Bannon dude was talking about like how they were trying to figure out how to get Trump to run for a third term. I'm like, shit, go ahead, Obama, do a third, do a third, baby. Go ahead, Obama, do another one, bro. Do another one.
Honestly, fuck you.
Chilling, bro. Chilling. He over here shouting out Playboy Cardi and shit, bro. That boy living the best life. He said, fuck y'all, I'm out.
Yeah. All right, man. Shout out to Magnet Sports Drink, man.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Magnet, the ultimate sports drink. Are you ready to take your performance to the next level? Do you want a sports drink that eliminates the muscle cramps and fatigue when working out or training? Meet Magnet, the sports drink designed for athletes who refuse to settle for mediocrity. I know you're asking why Magnet. It's power-packed electrolytes and rehydrates and restores balance with their scientifically formulated blend with magnesium that fights fatigue and boosts endurance. It has natural ingredients made with real fruit extracts and no artificial colors or flavors because your body deserves the best. It has delicious flavors like mixed fruit and watermelon that will keep you revitalized and ready for action. It will boost your performance with essential vitamins and minerals. Magnet fuels your workouts, helping you crush your goals. Join the Magnet movement, whether you're training, competing, or simply staying active. Magnet is your go-to refreshment for peak performance. You can order it now on our direct link at drinkmagnet.com. Also, use promo code Cris and Mal to get $5 off your purchase. Again, the promo code is Cris and Mal. Type it in, man. It takes a couple seconds, save $5. Get you some energy for your work week, man. Shout out to Magnet.
Yeah, for sure. Also, go to any of our social media links, social media platforms, and you'll see the profile link for our shirts, Cris Style Mal t-shirts, the black and the white one. We also have the golden night color one, and we got the dad hats. So go ahead, go to them, click on it. $25, $29 with the shipping. Go ahead and show your support. When you get your shirt or you get your hat, take a picture of it, tag us, and we'll shout you out on the show. Well, also, if you want to donate to the Cris Style Mal Podcast, you can donate to our Cash App, Cris Style Mal Podcast. We will be appreciative whatever you guys want to donate to us. Whatever streaming platform you use, you listen to your podcast on. Cris Style Mal Podcast is available on Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon Music, whatever you listen to your podcast, we're available. Also, first time watchers on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification button. So when we go live on Mondays, we're experimenting with this 10. I think we're gonna keep the 10 a.m. time. So we'll do a 10 a.m. Start time from now on. So tap in with us on Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time and Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Jump in. Give us your opinion on these topics that we bring up. We want to hear from you, even if you disagree with us. We want to hear from you, man. We want that line of communication. Shout out to all the people on TikTok that was disagreeing with our mock draft. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Yeah, we're going to do one real soon. You know what I'm saying? Some things might change. You know what I'm saying? It was just the first one. Yeah, I was all getting all huffy over there. But yeah, man, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, man. Leave a comment in the comment section, you know what I'm saying, for all those that listening on the playback too. And whatever social media platform you use, whether it be X, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Twitch, Facebook, whatever you use to listen to do your social media on, Cris Style Mal is available at Cris Style Mal. Follow us. We'll follow you back. We're just some regular guys who like to talk sports, music, and movies, and all kinds of various other things. Also, you have critiques, you have feedback, or if you have a question or a topic that you want us to bring up on the show, we like said topic or question. We will bring it up. We'll shout you out because we want to show love to those who show love to us. Hit us up via email, DM, or our mentions, and we'll get back to you as soon as we see said question or topic. All right, good people. I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Be safe. Like I said, we will be back next Monday. No show on Wednesday. So be safe out there. Have a good week. Still got March Madness. We got the opening day of baseball. Still got NBA going on. And NFL offseason is still rolling up into the draft. So also we will be giving you information about our live stream when we do the first round of the draft. So stay tuned for that too. So more information will be coming out real soon. So all right, good people. Until then,